following you for a while, so it's great to connect.
Same. Same, same, same.
So, yeah, um, I've just been doing a lot of research on some particular personal issues this morning, and I've been writing in my grimoire or my journal where
Nice.
I talk about um, some personal problems, which I actually read from later on in my episodes. I actually do readings on them.
Mm.
So, like, I
Mm.
feel like resonantly called to like open a page and like read a certain amount of text. Anyway, I was, all points aside, I really was wondering what the inspiration for your channel was.
Me? Oh, I think it would be probably similar to yours, is to find like-minded people, discuss about, you know, I love crystals and I dream a lot. So, I have like some kind of connection with out there. And so I think my YouTube channel is a way to share and also to give back, because I learn a lot from YouTube too. I follow a lot of, um like-minded people like myself, but also masters, gurus, and it's completely free. So I like that platform, where there's a free exchange and learning going on. So it's really that. It's right now it's not monetary. It's really like just putting myself out there, sharing my love for crystals. Shiva, right? So whoever resonates.
My boyfriend Bruce is into Shiva and all of that. I believe that's Indian
Yeah. Yes.
gods and
Yes.
goddesses, and he has all kinds of altars all over my room. It's great.
I think I'll be very similar. I have Shiva all over too. So it's probably Shiva that brought us together, I think.
Of course, of
I'm
course.
quite sure. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
um, I I love Ganesha. It's one of the ones that I talk to him every day. Uh,
Oh, nice.
there's like a statue on his altar of Ganesh, and we call him Ganeshi.
Nishi. Oh, he's got a pet name.
Yeah, and he gives me just that spurt of inspiration every single day, where
Yeah.
I can get through my day where it's like he's very encouraging and inspiring. His energy is very welcome, of course, and we're always giving him new water in a chalice.
Oh, that's sweet. It's very good. Very good.
Um,
Yeah.
the energy is just so amazingly inspiring, and yeah, I'm not into deities in that way. I have a very ancient approach to
Mm.
spirituality. I'm very into like intuition, and
Yeah,
I get very inspired by nature, and I feel like nature is the macro version of us, and
absolutely.
we're the micro
Yes.
version.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's going inwards, right? Nature inspires you to go inwards. And a lot of your videos are shot in the wild, so it's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
It, it literally just speaks for me a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, look, for me, I love Shiva and Ganesha because I dream of them. So it's not like I follow because someone talks about it, or because I'm Burmese, so I'm born Buddhist, and I've practiced a lot of Buddhist Vipassana meditation when I was younger. So I have a strong foundation in meditation. So I only discovered Shiva and Ganesha because I started dreaming of Shiva in starting in 2019. Direct dream. And in my dream, I knew that was Shiva.
It's fascinating. I would love to know more about your dreams.
Yeah. No, it's like Shiva, I would say, is an energy. See, the big difference, I would say, between Buddhism and Hinduism. I love Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha, his techniques and teachings are like very rational. So if anyone asks like, hey, who created the world? How did the world like don't get there. Like, you got suffering? Do you want to know how to remove your suffering? Okay, let me teach you the technique and don't get out into the creation of the world business. So Buddha is very scientific.
What do you mean by the creation of the world type of business?
If anyone asked Lord Buddha, who created the world? How was the world created? Are there other universes? He will not entertain such questions.
Because they're not relevant?
Because, yeah, it's like you're right now incarnated in this physical human form. Are you suffering? Yes. So I'm here to teach you because he found out through his own introspection how to end suffering. Whether he was the avatar of Vishnu, because what a lot of people say that he is the avatar of Vishnu, like Lord Ram and Buddha was one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu. He will not answer the question. So Lord Buddha, when I connected with Buddha and I did a lot of meditations was when I was 17, 18, all the way till 23. And that was perfect because I was very rebellious. I didn't care about religion. I wanted a technique. And then Buddha gave me the technique. It's great. I used that to apply that to my daily life. When I had childbirth, it was pain like heck. I used those breathing techniques and awareness techniques to overcome the suffering. So I think in 2019, like the moment I hit my 40s, like early 40s, then I started dreaming of Shiva. And I was in a meditation retreat center in my dream, a Buddhist one. And that was pre-COVID. So I had no idea about social distancing and that, you know, pre-COVID, like we were all partying happy together, right? But it was like a premonition because in that dream, I felt it was too crowded in a small space and I wanted to stay away from people. So I distanced myself. I walked out of the retreat center into this huge botanical gardens. And it was just trees and space everywhere. Then I saw a huge statue of Shiva under a banyan tree.
Now, what is a banyan tree?
Banyan tree is like, a ficus. It's a ficus tree. It's huge in the tropics. They grow really big and their roots would drop down from the air and it comes down. They're very grounded. So they send off shoots from their branches that eventually becomes roots that comes down. So they're like this massive tree that's sending out branches that becomes roots eventually. It's really phenomenal, the banyan tree. Lord Buddha gained enlightenment under one of those trees.
That's an energy right there.
And the leaves are heart-shaped. They're very beautiful. So they are like one of the sacred trees to Asians. So there under this banyan tree was Shiva, and I never knew about Shiva. Nobody talked to me about Shiva. I don't know, but in my dream, I knew that's Shiva. And that statue looked so much like Buddha because he was seated in a lotus position, like seated meditation statue. But Shiva is very handsome. Buddha is very handsome too, but Shiva is just beautiful. Because he's got long hair, like he's tied up in a knot. He's very good looking, very chiseled. That's Shiva. So I'm like, oh, that's Shiva. And then Shiva talked to me. Like he asked me in English, do you want to meditate? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, just grab a meditation cushion. And there were plenty around. And they were like round ones. I sat down and there was like the deepest Om that I heard. So the first time I heard the Omkar, and then I woke up. And then after that, I had multiple dreams of Shiva and even the cosmic, Nataraj Shiva. He came up to me. He said, do you know who I am? and he was black then, the Nataraj, with many hands, like, and everybody was scared of him, and I was like, "That's Shiva. Why are you scared?" Everyone was running away. He came up to me and said, "Do you know who I am?" So he's really naughty, like, and I said, I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Give me your left hand, like, in case I forgot." And he wrote his name in English, Shiva. So he makes sure that I know, hey, hey, I'm Shiva. Hello. So I have such a close bond to Shiva. It's incredible. And for me, the energy of Shiva and Buddha is very different. Buddha is very calm, very, like, the way he gazes at you, he doesn't look at you eye contact, like he'll look down, that serene smile. Shiva is just passion. Like, you just love him to the core. It's bhakti. You know what I mean? It is like freaking hopelessly in love, head over heels, except not with a human, with a god. So it's even better. Right? So it's crazy amount of love that's so pure and so, like, wow, brings tears to your eyes, blissed out. So that's Shiva's bliss out. Like, that is his energy. And so that got me curious into Hinduism. I start reading the Bhagavad Gita, and then I start to, then I hear about a lot of stuff. Om is the primordial sound, the primordial mantra that reverberates the whole of the universe, that creates universes, is with the sound of Om. So God is in the sound. So Om is the sound, and sound is God. And so with that, just that dream alone, I got to have this intimate encounter with Om and with Shiva, and that opened up this whole new, I don't know how to say it, but it's not worship, but it's like getting into the space of no space time and eternal love and this sense of oneness.
Would you say it's like a connection or even like the universe speaking?
Yeah, yeah. And so slowly, I get to meet all the, and then I dreamt of Devi, who is the mother goddess, Shakti. So they're like guiding you. So in that way, I start to feel firsthand through the dreams that enlightened saints, beings, they connect with you. And that your thoughts, sometimes they're not your thoughts. These are obviously divine thoughts that's been channeled, and because not everybody dreams of Shiva, that's what I realized. So it's like, oh, that's special somehow. So it's like, and that get me into more of the practice.
Amazing.
Mm.
Amazing. So I feel like we all have a different facet of existence. And I feel like we all have different experiences because we're a different facet. Um, of like we're all a part of the same stone, but we're all a different other face of the stone. I'm obsessed with crystals as well. So
Can't get enough, right?
yeah, you don't share that alone.
So why crystals for you? Share with me.
uh, they have so much to say, like everything else. The birds, the crystals, the ground, the sky, the rivers, the waters, the ocean, it's all speaking all the time. And I feel like crystals are a specific type of portal or connection um, into the world where we can't see what they can see, and they're like a lens where they can get us to see the world or connect with the world in a way which I feel wouldn't normally happen otherwise. Um, and I feel like they can transmit energy, they can transmute energy, and energy to me uh, is the essence of our being. Um, so I feel like um, crystals can alchemize that energy um, and can allow us to have a connection with ourselves that we wouldn't normally have. And speaking of gods, I've had visions from God since I was a child. Um,
Mm.
so I was always the weird one in the family. So
Of course. Especially if your
Uh,
family is not into
I was raised
spirituality. Catholic. Okay. Yeah.
I got visions of like the Star of David, for example, and the
Mm.
menorah, and I didn't even know what they were, and I had visions
Oh.
of um, and I always had this extra sensory or extra awareness in the world where I would feel the trees. I just don't look at them. I would feel what things are.
Mm.
I would just see them, and it these extra visions from God were sort of like me asking to affirm, like, am I crazy or is this actually happening? Um, so I did get a lot of insights from uh, my seeking God and my seeking truth. And in that way, I would get visions all the time. One of the visions, I actually literally asked God, how do you make water out of air? Was one of the visions I asked for, and he literally started to talk to me,
Wow.
and uh, he gave me exact directions on how to make
Okay.
water from air. And so he said, so he's like, okay, so you envision exactly what you want to see happen, and you literally view it at every conceivable angle, and then specifically in that order, and then you I sort of had this third eye experience where I just felt like my third eye was on fire. And then, is that all that happened? I'm trying to recall. It was like 20 years ago. I believe then I opened my eyes because my eyes were closed.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, I saw the exact thing that I saw in my head happen, and the water came out of thin air. And it,
Oh.
like, I was literally like outside of my roof window,
Oh.
and like the water came splashed on the roof window that was open, and then like one drop of water like fell onto my hand, and I was like, oh my god, this is
Wow.
actually real water.
Wow.
Yeah, so I literally had to like run downstairs. I was like screaming, and I was like, I had to
Yeah.
show my mom,
Yeah.
and she was like, yeah, that's wet. So I've had like crazy experiences like that my whole life, and I have a connection with nature now. I talk to birds, I talk to animals all
Ah.
the time. I have my window open all the time. I took the
Mm.
thermostat out of my room. I just have the
Oh.
window.
Nice. Are you able to incorporate that in your day-to-day life, spirituality?
I do. As I said, like the world outside of me, like this is why I don't like to go into cities, because the
Yeah.
cities to me are
Oh,
like very damaged
yeah.
places.
Very.
um, where the resonance frequency isn't so high there, where I don't
Mm.
really feel like that's myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when I'm out in nature, I feel like out here, where the nature or truth frequency is not so damaged, I can get a sense of my macro self, and that's really how I've incorporated my awareness into my daily life, where I realize this is who and what I am.
Mm.
Um,
Nice.
Today I actually was grappling with, like I was telling you earlier, I was like grappling with um, judgment and how that causes addictions in our lives.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
And it's sort of like it creates like a catch 22
Mm.
where there's like a judgment, and then there's a removal of the self, and then there's a release that needs
Okay.
to occur. And it's always a catch 22 in that way, where I feel like we're always judging our environment, we're always judging each other, we're always judging ourselves, and we're always removing ourselves from that truth frequency. And I
Mm.
feel like addiction is usually how we turn back to the intimacy that we would normally have without those judgments. Uh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You think addiction is a form of escape?
It's an escape from the loop that we put ourselves in, I feel.
Mm.
Like I feel like that's the catch 22 part of it. I feel like that's caught the constant judgments are constantly removing us from our senses, our intimacy, our actual sense of truth, because truth can be felt, I feel.
Mm. Mm.
I feel
So,
like
continue.
that can certainly remove us from the truth, and I feel like judgment is how people live, honestly. Go without feeling, go with, logic, and nothing bad about logic. I don't demonize, but
A lot of
I,
people are logic driven, yeah, because they're in fear.
yeah, because they're not feeling, yeah, fear
Mm-hmm.
driven
Yeah,
um, belief systems.
of course, of course. Very limiting. In a way, it's a safe spot and it's a first place to start because if you don't understand logically, you don't want to believe because probably there's been a lot of hoaxes and a lot of bad experiences. And so it taught them to not trust themselves, their inner voice. So instead, extremely logic driven people are because they have a trauma. They haven't been listened to when they were young.
And it's different for everybody. And
Different, but yeah.
yeah, of course, of
The inner
course.
child was suppressed. So they had to grow up too quickly. So therefore very logic driven. Often like very responsible, very, very adultish. It's like, don't waffle waffle. That's because they were not allowed to be kids. Something happened. Like they had to prematurely grow up real quick, defend
Right.
themselves. And that's not
Very.
a look at it this way, right? It's not a bad place to be when you start because it establishes boundaries. And so they won't accept bullshit. Like it really needs to resonate. However, to a certain point, it's not going to help them to their higher self because the logic then becomes the prison. Like the big you can be a very good um employee. You're serving the business, you're serving the company, whatever, because you're doing things like a machine, do follow the protocol. Okay, I'll do it. Dong, 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 dong. But you can't see beyond the physical. So if you want to then lead or you want to be a leader, you want to break boundaries, you want to recreate and shift paradigms, you got to be a dreamer somehow. You got to have a vision. The vision doesn't come from the tangible reality, it comes from your dreams. And it comes from believing in the dreams that hasn't materialized. So in that way, it's illogical. Its intuition is illogical, right? And you got to trust that inner voice, which means that you are comfortable with being ambiguous and vulnerable. And so, yes, logic serves majority of the mankind, but there's certain people who will be illogical. But if they're consciously illogical because they are following their inner truth and guidance, then they are like on the path to leadership. And probably in the nature of civilizations or societies or even maybe I don't know if there's God, like God created, not everybody's like that. There will be a certain few who can pierce the veil and who can be dreamers, and so therefore they are the ones who are great innovators. The planet is not flat, it's round, and they are willing to be crucifixed because they go against the masses, but they have a truth that nobody in their cohort believes in, and they speak their truth, and these are visionaries, and that's pretty special. So yeah, I mean, we shouldn't judge people for being logical, and those who are illogical, maybe they have. There's a very fine line between madness and being a spiritual guru or a great scientist. You know, they could be labeled mad because they don't think like how most people think like.
Which I totally agree. But like I said, I think the truth can be felt, and I
Yeah,
think that's only the only way to know the truth. And I feel like people are missing that, and I think that's why the world's going crazy.
yeah, yeah.
You know, they're not feeling the truth. They're just it's the age of misinformation, as I've been.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're
Uh,
just going along with what Tom, Dick, and Harry said. When a lot of these scientific studies are paid studies, they're not actual fact. They're
mm,
literally paid to say what they're saying as scientists. They put their degrees and everything on the line. I'm not even convinced that they're even doing these scientific studies. I feel like they're just being paid to say what they're saying a lot of the time, especially when third party sources do, scientific studies in labs or even doing the research, it doesn't add up, you know,
uh-huh. But
like
why does it affect you so much, Paul? What other people think?
for me, it affects me because I feel like other people are also the macro version of myself. Crazy to say it that way, but I feel like we're all different aspects of ourselves.
Mm,
And I feel like it doesn't bother me that other people are in disconnect, but uh, it does uh, play a role in our world and a crucial role in our world, just as I play a crucial role in the world in some way. Um, and I feel like when our society changes, I mean, I think ascension will be that much, and that's really what is important to me is our ascension. I feel like that'll be a much easier process when we
yeah,
become closer to ourselves.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, look, do what you can, right, to raise your vibration and to be happy and follow your truth. But other people and how they think and how they act is beyond your control.
Of
So,
course,
yeah, but just let them be. You know, they will find, and they're all part of the whole divine creation. So, eventually, when they're ready, they will see. And maybe they already see parts that we don't see. So who are we to say that we don't know? Like maybe they already got it. Like, don't assume. Just let them be. Let other people be. That's my 2 cents because otherwise, um wanting to find your tribe is great, but it can also lead to how do you say it? Very subjective preferences. Their way of thinking is so different from mine. Like so frustrating. Like we don't share. We can't talk Shiva, we cannot talk crystals, but then they're good at some stuff that I'm not good at. Or maybe, it's complementary and then it's like yin and yang, completely opposites, like totally different perspective, way of life, way of thinking. But it helps you to see aspects of you that maybe are not developed. So I think every person has a strength, has a gift to the world.
right.
And me, I love and I thrive on this kind of conversations. I can talk about spirituality all day long, man. So it's like sometimes I'm like, why am I not? I'm in a corporate setting. I'm not in like, I'm not doing like healing work and stuff. And so it's a conundrum. Like, why am I in this logic-driven world, very corporate environment? And I cannot understand, but then maybe it's good for my soul upgrade. Maybe that's what my soul needs. And I can see that I am beyond time and space. So I will get caught up in something. I'll be so in it. I'll lose all dimensions. So these logic driven people whom I'm with in my day to day, they help me to survive in a human body. You know what I mean? To be human.
That's true.
Yeah, otherwise I'll be talking to flowers and be in the streets, like picking up stones.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
helps us come back to earth. It's for
Yeah,
sure.
and maybe I'm good for them because they're like, man, why do you keep stopping at walks and talking to like stones and stuff? I'm like, just slow the F down, man. It's like
Yeah,
enjoy this. So
because we
sometimes you,
I would love if people would just like move at the speed of their nervous system,
right.
which
Yeah.
is like so important to realize, you know, who we are and our actual selves and our actual the basis upon our reality even is feeling it, I
Mm.
feel like that's so important to stop and enjoy your world. So I noticed also that you have so much nature in your channel, and I was wondering more about your connections with nature.
Nature. Ah, I'm like you, lah. I hug trees. I see certain trees, and I'm like, oh, I gotta touch you. I got my favorite tree in the park, whom I always sit on its lap, and then I'm like meditating. Um, yeah, I love to pick flowers. Everything that's in nature, I like to pluck. It's, I think there's a vibe in nature, like nature spirits are around all the time. There's certain rocks that calls out to me. I don't exactly know what their message is for me. They don't really talk to me, but I just feel like they're calling out. So I'll just go and spend some time, reach out to them and like, oh, my favorite rock. Like my
What do
dog
you
or something.
what's your relationship with like presence energy?
Presence, like the
Because
present moment.
that's how I communicate with everything, with trees, with rocks, with what birds say, because they're very intelligent birds
Mm.
and insects and anything that speaks in nature. They speak in very multifaceted languages where they're saying more than one thing at the same time. And I was just wondering if you have ever had that type of experience where you're making a connection in um, regards to feeling presence, because that's really how I make my connections. Um,
Ah, well, the present moment is the only moment that we have, really. So oftentimes I am really in the present a lot of times.
when I
So,
what I mean by presence is existence and how something exists. Its mood, it has moods, it has different.
whoa,
Yeah.
now you're reading them literally like they got characteristics and such.
I also have like 5 earth signs in my chart, so
You're super earthy. I don't think I connect at such a deep level as you would. That would be very interesting. For me, it's just that certain rocks or certain flowers or certain trees call out their attention to me. So I know like, oh, they're talking to me in that sense. And then I will go and make sure that even though I don't have the time because I'm on a walk with other people, I'll just make a gesture to touch them or acknowledge their presence.
because there's times where I don't, have much connection at all, you know,
Mm.
sort of like going through my day like a normal person or trying to be.
Right. Oh, that's why crystals, I think they're very vocal. Because if you have a large collection of crystals, certain on certain days, certain crystals will speak louder to you that you never notice or they will blocks, and then they will come more and then you feel like, oh, where have you been all my life? It's like I have this sapphire. I mean, never wore it before. It was tucked in a box, and then when I saw it, I'm like, hey, dude, where were you all my life? Like, and then so there is, like you say, it's to the logic-driven person who is listening to this conversation, it's always what's in it for me.
Right.
Right. So, oh, so you found this sapphire, you found this rock, or you found this tree, and you connect it. So what did you get? that is very logic driven. It's like, so what? So what? I don't think so. That's where it's strange, and that's why we can't make a huge business or fortune out of it. Not, I mean, in that sense, because I can't tell you what the connection with Shiva means. It's not bringing me millions, but it's you can't tangibilize that connection. It's just that, yeah, they talk to me and then they're special and that's it. That's
And
it.
there's so many
Simple.
things to say about it, and
Yeah.
all at the same time, and it may not be applicable, you know, to anything that people normally consider as
Yeah,
important.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
That just brings me back to how judgment removes us and it creates that catch-22. And
Mm.
I feel like that it brings us a lot of challenges in connecting with other people and connecting ourselves with our environment, connecting ourselves with ourselves, essentially. Like everyone has this base truth
Oh.
frequency, I feel like, where the person I seek in myself is also the person I seek in you.
Mm.
And I feel like um, that truth is throughout all things that exist. And I feel like if we seek that one truth, we're golden, no matter if we're, worshiping Shiva or going to the
Mm-hmm.
beach, talking to the ocean. It's
Yeah.
all the same place, and I
Yes.
feel people forget that.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be reminded in certain moments of their time if they go inwards. So I think there's hope, Paul. Like there's a lot of meditation apps and all this sort of thing that people can connect to if they wish. But then again, the world is built out of free will. So it's not up to us to say, I want the whole, like, there's free will. So each being have this, they choose their destiny. So yeah, it's up to them. It's their choice and their free will. So how we decide to comport and see the world is our free will. So is others. So if they want to judge us, that's their problem. Like,
And I think that honesty is so important in our
true.
personal relationships, in our
Yeah.
society. I mean, people are just not being honest as far as I can see.
There's a lot of hypocrisy, right? And so
And you
because
say
we
you live in Canada. I know that's how it is here in the US, at least where
mm,
I am. It's very closed-minded. Um, so how is it where you are? You said you're from Montreal?
yeah, more open-minded. I think
That's
a lot more racial harmony, and there's a lot of different races, a lot of immigrants, and I think we're all embracing it. Like, there's the French language, but then the French language is spoken with all kinds of dialects and slang. So you got like the Arabic twang to it. You got like, it's really cool, and people just dig into it. So it's a difference between maybe America. It's like Canada
yeah.
is more, it's very gentlemanly culture. I feel like they're more, I would say, British, more European.
Mm. Oh wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a different vibe. I think the States has this almost superiority complex, like we're American. Whereas Canadians are very humble. They're like, oh, immigrant country since back then. So it's different. It's
Yeah,
very
in many
European vibe,
many different ways, I really don't consider myself American.
especially now. I would imagine.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah.
kind of in one of those pockets where I've always rejected the culture. I've always rejected being assimilated to the way people live. And
Mm,
there's a very stark and very weird contrast here
yeah.
where
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much rejection. I mean, it's staggering. But also there's a weirdness about it. There's an irony about it where I feel like people do want to connect here. People do want to reach out, and people are very open-minded. So it can be very challenging because you'll be all of a sudden hit in the head with like someone who's very ignorant
Yeah,
or
yeah,
closed-minded and very opinionated, of course.
of
The
course.
mansplaining.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
know what
it's
mansplaining is.
what? Say again?
Do you know what the term mansplaining means?
No. Instead of explaining, it's mansplaining. Okay.
It's like when someone has like something they want to say, which they literally it's the fact, it's the
Oh,
law, it's
right.
the by thesis, and there's
Okay.
nothing else.
Oh, I
I
like
s-
that term. Okay. Is it a
yeah,
Gen Z term? Mansplaining.
I guess.
I guess. I guess you're Gen Z, so I don't know. I guess. Go on.
Yeah, I was born in '90s, so I guess that makes me millennial, though, right?
Millennial. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. I gotta let you go, my love, because it's one,
Okay, my love.
unfortunately.
It was wonderful talking with you. It's been an honor.
Thank you. Same.
You have a great day. I am an intuitive healer. I am an artist who only uses resources from secondhand materials to make my items. And I believe in sustainability. I believe in the ascension of humanity. And I am here to work with you directly. And if you do, my link tree is in the description of this video. The type of divination that I use is something that I've discovered myself, and it's called intuitive reading, where I read a selection of text from my grimoire and it applies to the viewer directly. All of my products and services are listed in the link tree that I have provided in the description of this video.
I like it.